Hello friends, my name is Vitaly Tkachenko and this is the School of Creativity. Today we have a kitten, a portrait of a kitten. Here we will have the head. Next I lightly draw the axis. This one, a little higher. I mark the eyes. Relative to this line, I mark one eye. Closer to this line, I mark the second eye. The eyes are large. You can even make them bigger if you want. In principle, that wouldn't hurt. Next we draw from the slug, moving up to draw the ear, a large ear in the shape of a little triangle from the slug, like this diagonally. We add the eyes, drawing them more accurately, placing the pupils like this. Now we need to outline a little tuft here and sketch out the body. Let's go further over here, like this. And in this spot we add the paws, those chubby little paws. Well friends, let's start with the shading. Where should we begin? We should start, of course, with the background. First, you take a diagonal, dense stroke like this and start shading the background carefully without pressing too hard. You can shade the background with a longer stroke if your technique allows it, like this. Try to hold the pencil not too close to the lead and make sure there is nothing under the sheet of paper, otherwise it will just leave a mark. I'll take it lower like this. I'll shade it. For now, we are not pressing down on the pencil at all. Above the head, of course, naturally as well. We gradually fade out. This is how we feel the pencil as it lays down a soft stroke. I make the kitten a little darker and a bit lighter around it. So, we already have some light background, and next I recommend switching to the eyes. I start by outlining with a very dark line, carefully and precisely drawing the contour. Then I lightly shade the white part, the pupil along with the iris. The next step is to shade the pupil as strongly as possible to create the eye, but not just the eye. The next step is to shade the nose. The first tone is applied quite moderately, not too dark. And then I outline it with a sharp pencil like this, adding a little shadow in the middle and along the edges. But overall, it is quite dark, yet voluminous. Next, I move on to the fur above the little eye, between the little eyes, and I still apply the stroke softly. We continue to highlight the face. Let's emphasize the cheeks. Let's highlight it a bit, and then continue to highlight the paws. Pay attention to the direction of the stroke. The stroke is dense, but not too dark. Let's shade the chest area. We'll gradually fade it out and smudge it a little. Next, we'll create a smooth transition right here. We'll cover the right side of the face with the same tone. The second ear as well, a bit darker on the outside, and the ears will stand out. But now we continue with the shading. Here we can slightly blur it, and we start shading, creating the fur, you see? And now I begin to darken. We'll make a collar for him right here. In the middle, there's a shadow under his chin, and we'll add some spots like this. I start to separate the legs from each other, deepening the shadow between them, while pressing a little on the pencil. Let's darken the area above the paws to highlight the color. Now, let's start working on the fur. Here, I will make it a bit darker again. Everything is applied according to the shape of the fur. I will use a broken stroke in this direction. Here we create this kind of fur. I darken it a little here, and the transitions are smooth. The most interesting and challenging part is shading with beautiful layers. It's important to maintain balance in the shading, so that it doesn't look straw-like. And here is the layering of halftones, so that the transitions are smooth, 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 and the tone analysis is correct. Highlight it right here so that they are adequate and proportional, and between the paws, make it a bit darker. Then it lays down firmly on the surface. When a shadow appears under the object, in that direction, I slightly ruffle the fur, meaning I shade it a bit like this with the plastic, and this is already one of the main shadows under the cheek. The lower jaw gently rests, giving it a certain expressive character. And of course, the little face. Look, let's darken a bit under the eye and slightly darken the side of the nose as well. Now we are getting into more nuanced details. The cheeks are lightly shaded from the inside for volume. It's easy. You see a light tone, light, unobtrusive light. Shadows above the eyes are essential, all in the direction of the fur. We choose the pencil based on how it feels. If we need it a bit firmer now, then we take a firmer one. Now I took a firmer brush, so that I don't apply too much here. And these little stripes on the head, the kittens, definitely need to be added. Cat expressions, which Katama especially gives, of course, are these little stripes, right? They are unevenly dark, and they gradually fade away. There are 3 of them, conditionally speaking. Here you go, right. And our kitty is ready. Thank you to those who watched until the end. I wish you only success in this endeavor. This was Vitaly Tkachenko and the School of Creativity. Bye-bye.